From custom themes and unforgettable interfaces to magazine ads, instruction booklets, and one of the greatest arcade companies ever, it's time to unlock another memory. This is Millennial Gamer Things, Episode 4. Console themes. The 360 had some themes too, but the PS3 is what first comes to mind. Themes changed everything about the overall look of a PS3's XMB. New colors and designs for all your icons, new wallpaper, and even new system sounds. You could download themes from the PlayStation Store, design your own on a PC, and even get some from the internet if those suited your style more. They were typically free, but some did cost just a tad. I remember having a COD 4 theme, along with some others like Pain, Warhawk, and the skateboard company Hookups. After a couple years, PlayStation upped the game, and we got what were called dynamic themes. Dynamic themes did everything that regular themes did, but the backgrounds were 3D animations. I remember I had one of zebras on the African plain, walking in and out of frame, minding their own business. The PS4 also had themes, but I don't remember them being pushed as much. It's kind of weird to think that we've gone backwards in customization to an extent. Midway Games. Midway is one of those developers that just brings back a lot of memories when you hear the name. They were the kings of American arcade games, and without them, some arcade classics wouldn't exist. No Hydro Thunder, no NFL Blitz, no NBA Jam, no Mortal Kombat. And that's just scratching the surface. Much like Namco was in Japan, Midway's cabinets were impossible to ignore. The biggest machines, the loudest speakers, eye-popping graphics, bone-rattling sound systems, and gameplay that kept players feeding them quarter after quarter. Their games went beyond arcades too. The more popular franchises were ported over to home consoles, and partway through the 6th console generation, Midway was exclusively making games for console. Unfortunately, they went out of business in 2010 after filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2009. Warner Brothers swept in, buying just about everything Midway had, including its arcade catalog. And honestly, it's a damn shame they shut down. There's so many of the IPs that are essentially frozen in time, like Primal Rage, Rampage, and The Grid are prime examples. 6th Gen UI. 6th Gen consoles were just unique all the way around. From the startup screens and home UI, all 4 consoles were just unique and all stood out more than what current gen UIs do. The OG Xbox had a radioactive, industrial-ish, and alien feel to it. Scrolling the keyboard sounded like a spacecraft's engine starting. Going deeper or pulling back from menus sounded like you were inputting commands on a spacecraft. Those NASA transmissions that played when you let the system idle long enough really tied it all together. The PS2 felt futuristic. The startup screen alone started off with nothing, and slowly grew towers depending on how many games you played and for how long. Almost like a city being built with all of its skyscrapers. Save data matched to whatever the game was, and even had their own animations if you were copying or deleting the data. The system sounds reminded me of a beach to an extent, with what sounds like ocean waves playing underneath these futuristic select and back buttons. GameCube kept it holographic. Once you make it past the startup screen, the cube becomes a transparent menu, allowing you to change settings and transfer save data. The first entry to the 6th console generation, the Sega Dreamcast, felt playful and inviting. Overall, the color palette is bright and airy. Kind of makes me think of what we all thought the future would look like heading into Y2K. Soft blues, pastel colors, and rounded icons really push that clean and rather optimistic feel. The menu items playfully bounce or twist to indicate what's selected, while the background to each title closely resembles the buttons on the Dreamcast controller. The sounds are a bit more generic though, almost like something you'd hear from a Windows PC from that generation. Gaming ads. Ads in magazines used to hit different. For those of us that didn't have G4 or the best internet connection, gaming magazines were the best way to stay plugged in. You could flip through the pages, seeing full page spreads for games, sometimes even a poster or some stickers. And let's not forget about the demo disc as well. But the ads themselves were really a sign of the times. Think of it as the Attitude Era. They were louder, edgier, and sometimes just plain WTF. Instruction booklets. There was nothing like getting a new game as a kid and opening it on the way home. I can remember going over the front and back covers, really taking my time to analyze everything, and just imagine the fun that was going to be had when I finally got home. But on the inside, you had an instruction booklet. Aside from learning a game's controls, HUD elements, and the credits, sometimes the booklets gave you a deeper look at the characters, giving a bio about them and some of their special moves if it's a fighting game. Other times, you might see what weapons and abilities are available to you. It was usually a toss-up if it was in color or black and white, and on occasion, you'd have a section to write notes. Instruction booklets stuck around till the Xbox One and PS4 era, where your help has been removed from the case and is now on the disc. That's going to do it for another episode of Millennial Gamer Things. I want to hear from you. What was your favorite PS3 theme back in the day? And what was your favorite Midway game? Let me know down in the comments. For all things gaming, past, present, and future, I'm your main, and I'll catch you in the next one.